Artificial intelligence has been steadily creeping into our lives. And I'm not just talking about Alexa here. Artificial intelligence has been infiltrating our places of work in more ways than you may think.
AI is present in places that not everyone immediately thinks.
That was Joe Fuller, professor of management practice at Harvard Business School. He says AI's role in a workplace is essentially correlation, drawing a conclusion from one variable's impact on another thing, like the effectiveness of an ad campaign.
Let's correlate how all those factors combined and see if we can reach a conclusion about what we should try next.
But in this comparing and data analysis that AI does, it's being applied to things that directly impact an employee, like who to hire, who to fire.
It's another way to do data analysis. So if you were saying we overhired in COVID, which is what a lot of the tech companies did, we need to reduce staff, how are we going to pick?
In a January survey by Capterra, 98% of 300 HR leaders across the nation say they will use AI this year to decide who to lay off. However, only about half of them say they're confident that those decisions are going to be without bias.
AI is only as smart as the people who wrote the algorithms. Once you get outside of the last 30, 40 years, the data becomes so skewed, for example, incredibly male, that it's no longer as helpful as you want. So you have to be very judicious about both how the algorithms are written and what data you're relying on.
Now, here's where this gets a little concerning. So AI and automation replacing jobs is really nothing new in this country. I mean, how many times you go to the self-checkout at the grocery store, right? But what Joe says is with AI getting so good so quickly, we're going to start seeing job replacement in industries that we always thought were going to be safe from this kind of thing.
I would not want to advise anyone to become someone whose job is as a lawyer to review routine contracts, because AI will read a new contract. You won't get rid of all the attorneys, which would be, of course, a Shakespearean triumph, but it will reduce the number of attorneys you need. I think it's going to have some very interesting political and social consequences as well, because you're going to see people in neighborhoods who are affected that have been not subject to the type of buffeting that we've seen in places like the industrial heartland.
What can't be replaced by AI, though, is interpersonal skills, right? Negotiation skills, writing skills. Those are the skills that are going to become even more valuable in the years to come. But something that Joe suggests that all of us do is to learn how AI works and how we can bring things to the table at the workplace that it cannot.
You have to understand how it works, how networks work, basics of data structure, basics of data analysis. You don't necessarily have to build it, you have to understand it.
Vanessa Mishania, Scripps News, Boston.
High-tech layoffs capture people's imaginations for a pretty simple reason. These are some of the best jobs in the country.
From Silicon Valley to America's heartland, the tech industry has seen a wave of layoffs recently, and some of those workers are finding new life in the ag business.
I tell people that I work for Deere, and I say I work for John Deere, and they say, oh, you make tractors. And I say, oh.
We'll show you how white collar may become the new blue collar next on The Race.